I have been voice acting for a while now. This was like 2 years ago, I think. So crazy. It's been 2 years. This is how I auditioned for Genshin Impact. I've been voice acting for a while. I think I finished playing Genos in One Punch Man. I was working on like a big video game. I worked on multiple big video games, and then I got an audition for a game called The Somnium Files. If anybody's ever heard of The Somnium Files, go check it out. It's by the same guy who made Zero Escape. If you guys like those kind of games. So I auditioned for this. I auditioned for this game, and I ended up booking a role as one of the characters in the game. I play Ota in The Somnium Files, and because of that, I worked with this director on the game. Super nice guys. He was at the time, and still, even now, I guess, even now he still is. He was one of the best directors I'd ever worked with. Super nice guy, very easy to get along with, willing to listen to my input, fully on board with the creative team. And you would think that all directors are like this, right? That is not the case. That is not true. There are a lot of directors who aren't fully invested into the project that they're working on. But this director was, okay? And this director, his name is Chris Biella. He actually goes by Mr_Burgle, I believe. It's Mr_Burgle, and he streams on Twitch. So, anyways, long story short is, he was the director for The Somnium Files. Let's see what happened. I remember a few days, or not a few days, like weeks go by. Weeks go by after wrapping the entirety of The Somnium Files. We finished everything. We finished the entire game. Weeks, maybe even months went by. It had been a while. It had been a while since I'd worked with him, and one day I get an email from him, and he's like, "Hey, how you doing? What's up, man? Could you send me your agency info?" And so I was like, okay. And so I sent him my agency info. I sent him my agent contact, and then I think a few days later, my agent contacted me and said, "Hey, you have an in-person audition at this studio that we record at. It's called Formosa in Burbank." And so my agent's like, "Yeah, you got an in-person audition. Go kill it, man." And I was like, okay. I mean, typically for voiceover, we don't have a lot of in-person auditions unless it's gonna be a huge thing, I guess. Well, no, that's not true. There are a lot of auditions that we have that aren't I don't know. I guess it's just random. Honestly, it's just really random. It's kind of on the rare side, though, to have to go to an in-person audition as a voice actor. Usually you can just record stuff at home and then send it in. So I decided to go into the audition again, and I was like, oh, cool. Like, it's probably going to be with Chris and whatnot, because, everything, I connected the dots. I was like, Chris asked me for my agency info. It's probably with him. And, yeah. I go in to do the audition, and I read for a bunch of different characters. Okay? I read for a bunch of different characters. I ask them, what is this? What is this game? And I don't think they told me right off the bat. I don't think they told me it was Genshin. But I just remember getting a call back. I know, guys, sorry. This story is like kind of weird and rambly because this is 2 years ago and I'm trying to remember everything. So I read for like a few characters, maybe. No, yeah, like a few. And then I saw Aethers. I remember I read for Aethers, and then I don't know. Then I just walked out, and I think a couple weeks went by. I didn't hear anything, so I just assumed, oh well, maybe I didn't get it. Maybe they're still fasting. Maybe they haven't worked on it yet. then I got a call from my agency saying the studio booked me for a couple hours of recording, and then I went in and I recorded for Aether, and I was just doing grunts and stuff. And you know how I've done a lot of JRPG kind of video games, I guess, and I played the player character in them. And so when they said player character, I assumed it meant like a customizable character, right? Like you know how you can change the voice on the characters when you're, selecting your thing. You're like maybe you want your character to be a like, you know what I mean? Like you can change their voices and whatnot. Basically, that's what I thought it was. And then I talked more with them, and they're like, no, this is like the guy. This is like the main guy. I had no idea. It's like, what are you talking about? This is crazy. He's the main guy. They're like, yeah, oh no, this thing's gonna be huge. This thing's gonna be huge, man. And then they showed me some of the gameplay. And when we recorded, we actually recorded to, the cutscenes in the game. When we record them, they're all like before everything's done. Before the animation, it's like a bunch of sketches, frame by frame by frame when we're doing the cutscenes. So it's very, very early in the process. So it was hard for me to get a real grasp of like how beautiful the game was gonna look like, or what even it was, because I work on a lot of things that I just don't really know what they are, and sometimes you can't really ask. But yeah, I don't know. I guess that kind of wraps it up. Long story short, that's how I got Aether. And it was by meeting the director from I, the Somnium Files, him asking for my agency info because we had a great time working on that game, and then he decided to bring me in to audition for Genshin Impact, and then I ended up booking the role of Aether. Long story short. So I am horrible at telling stories. Please, I'm sorry.